Hi guys, Allie here from AllieStamps.com, and today I just wanted to show you the cards that we're going to be making for our June punch art class and on the go kits, and also give you a tutorial on how I made this graduation cap and tassel. If you haven't heard of punch art class before, if you live local to me in Rochester, New York, you're welcome to come the third Thursday of the month and get your hands on the products to touch and feel and get some instruction as we walk you through making this full lineup. If you don't live local to me, then you can still participate through an on-the-go kit. And the kit will come, all the kit components for either the cards and the resource pages or just the resource pages. Both packages are available. That component will come in the mail to you. And then the PDF file, including all the instructions and full colored photos, will be emailed to you. What the resource pages are these little pages that you can put on a binder ring to keep track of all of the punch art creations that you make. And then this way you've got, rather than, you can feel free to send the cards that you make. You don't have to worry about losing the information to duplicate the actual punch art. You'll keep the punch art right on file in this little book. And you get a complimentary binder ring and cover with the first class you attend or the first kit that you purchase. So this is the star of our show that we'll be coming back to in just a minute. The other punch arts for the month are the popsicle, which is lots of fun, very summery, and then the hole-in-one golf, which is great for Father's Day or just the men in your life. All right, coming back to our graduation. To make the top of the graduation cap, you're going to take a 1" by 2" piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use a white gel pen just for the sake of the video so that you can see what I'm doing. But when you're doing this at home for your actual card, I would recommend using a pencil. And you can see on this resource page sample, I've drawn what I'm doing right here with white gel pen as well so that you have it for future reference. You're going to want to take the ruler and along the 2" side, you're going to mark it at 1". And then again at the top at 1". And then on these sides, you're going to mark it at 1/2 inch. And what you're doing is you're just marking center on each of the edges of the card. And then you'll take your ruler and you're just going to connect each of those points to create a diamond. And again, I would use pencil at home. It'll be less messy, but I just wanted you to be sure to see it on the black cardstock. So this is what you'll have. And then you're going to go through with your paper snips and just trace that line to cut out your diagonal. And no matter whether you use pen, gel pen, pencil, you're going to want to flip whatever that side is that you drew on over, unless you get white gel pen smeared on the other side. And then you're going to take another piece of black cardstock and the 1" square punch. And you're just going to punch out a 1" square. And what I'm doing now is making this base. So I've got my 1" square, and then I'm going to go back in with a ruler, and I'm going to mark 1½ inches because I want to find dead center on that square. I'm going to take my 3/4 inch circle punch, and I am going to line up my circle, an edge of a portion of it, and I want to line it up so that the circle is touching the center mark as well as that corner all the way in the end. And I'm going to snip that out, and then that's just snipping away that little piece. And you're going to do that on both sides, and you just want to make sure that you're lining up exactly center and exactly the corner like that. So that's the base of the cap. And then this is the top of the cap like that. And I did adhere the top with a dimensional just to make it pop a little bit more. And then for the center of the cap here, I used a brad to attach the tassel. But I am going to show you quick how I made that tassel. We're going to take a piece of chipboard, and this chipboard is 3 inches by 2 inches. And the 3-inch portion doesn't matter. Really all it is that you want to be sure that you have is the 2-inch width right here. And you're going to take white baker's twine, and you're going to cut off a piece about this big. It doesn't need to be this long. I just like to make sure that my little kink that's in it is in the middle, so it just kind of makes me cut a little bit more than I need so that I don't get the kink where I don't want it. And then you don't need to cut the other portion. You can just work right off the bolt. And you're going to hold this one piece right along the top of this chipboard. And then you're going to put one end of the baker's twine at the bottom, and you're just going to wrap around. It takes a little bit of coordination to get going, but once you're started, you'll be fine. And then you're just going to wrap around this center, and you're just going to make sure that this tail doesn't get in your way. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit so it doesn't keep catching. Alright, so you're wrapping this around, and you're going to wrap 8 to 10 times. The more that you wrap, the bigger the tassel. Okay. And you're going to want to end on the bottom, and then trim that off. Alright, so then now you've got these 2 pieces at the top, and you're going to tie that in a nice tight knot. Okay, so you've got a knot at the top, and then you're going to slide this whole thing off. Alright, and then you're going to take your baker's twine again, and you're going to leave a tail on the end and wrap tightly around the top of the tassel about 8 times again. And then you'll trim that off, and then you'll tie a knot. Like so. And then you're going to want to cut those really close. Close enough. You don't want to cut the knot, but you want to cut nice and close. And then I forgot to bring over my big old ribbon scissors. Those would be best. But you're going to want to just hold your tassel and just trim along the loop ends. And then you've got a fun little tassel to work with. And then I just anchored that right on. My brad prongs I just spread out around the tassel and stuck it right in like that on the card. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make the graduation cap and the tassel today. You can go to my website at alliestamps.com to order the kit and the file so that you've got your hands on the actual product and instructions. And then you'll also get the instructions and kits to make these 2 additional cards and or the resource pages if you go that direction. And again, that website is www.alliestamps.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.